I didn't get much done this week, but that doesn't mean I don't have much to talk about. Hey everybody, it's me, Margaret. I'm a Mississippi native transplanted to Atlanta, Georgia, where I sheepishly share things I love with you. And today, I love life. Because it's life that's gotten in the way of my crafting, which, good things though, that's okay. But I have gotten some things done. A couple of them, some crocheted hats that I'm not ready to talk about yet because I'm in the middle of doing something with that. So they're just going to sit over there for right now. But I did pull out an oldie but goodie pattern. This is a pattern by Zoe, who is 24 karat crochet. And do you see how it spirals? You have both colors going at the same time while you do this. It's not like you finish a row and then pick up that stuff and do a row. You kind of have both colors going on the same row at the same time. And I'll put a link to a blog post where I had written a whole lot about this. As a matter of fact, it has the link to her pattern in it, and I just think it's great. Now this of course was scrap yarn, and when I look at this, the first thing that pops into my mind is like a football game or something when you're outside. It just looks like team colors or whatever. But I have done this even in sock yarn, really thin yarn, and it looks fantastic. And it is crocheted, so you'd have to use one of those teeny tiny little hooks. But I wrote about it in that blog post ages ago. So once you understand the concept, then you can add your own flair to it and customize it to suit you. But Zoe did the hard part, and that's figuring out how to get all this started. And if you follow her pattern, you're going to have great success. So thank you, Zoe. Okay, and then you remember the yarn that I had pulled out last week? I had some leftover of this and just did a basic half double crochet hat. The yarn itself is beautiful. This hat is nothing to write home about exactly. A big bulky yarn. I can't even remember what it's called right now. I'll put the information here somewhere for you. Beautiful colors. Oh, the Isaac Mizrahi, and I don't remember the colorway on this, but it's beautiful yarn. But I think this entire hat took one full skein, and it's just a basic style. I was thinking, like an artist, let the yarn speak for itself, do something basic, but it didn't come out so wonderful. But it's good. It's a good hat. It's a good thick warm hat with pretty colors. There you go. On another note, I remember a video that Jana did recently, Jana's favorite things, and she talked about how she's having trouble with her elbow with the repetitive motion of knitting and crocheting, and I'll be doggone if she didn't pass that on to me. I think I caught it through the camera. Yeah, I've been having difficulty with it, and so I keep jumping between knitting, crocheting, and sewing, because each of them aggravates my elbow in a different way. For example, you're holding things differently in each instance. It's actually the iron that causes me trouble in this elbow. It's right over here, and I can actually press on this tendon and feel the problem. So, Jana, did you ever figure out what that was, what we need to be doing about it? If anybody else knows, do tell. So a lot of times when I get in front of this camera, I look around and think, is this all I have to show? Is this all I have to talk about? And I can't remember what I did throughout the week that has kept me so busy. So I'll get my phone out and glance through the pictures, because how did we live without smartphones? The pictures alone kind of chronicle your life. So as I'm glancing through here, I see that we were responsible for stuffing exam bags for Thomas's school, the 10th grade. I'm the 10th grade coordinator at the school, and so exam bags are just bags full of goodies that we give them right before finals, so they can have munchies and whatnot to, just to show support, that sort of thing. Yep, all of this stuff. What are we doing, Dad? Getting some exam snacks. And Thomas finished up with school, and now he is in Europe, as a matter of fact. He is with 14 friends from the school. It's Dean Green took them. Dean Green is the academic dean, and he is from England, so he is very familiar with that, all the stomping grounds that they are heading over there to. And his history teacher, who was Sergeant Pedry, and of course some various adults that were also going over there. So they have just finished England. I think they're headed to Belgium today, but it's basically, it gives them high school credit. They met early in the morning to study and learn more about World War I and the sites that they were going to visit. So that's basically what this trip is all about. So he won't be back till the 31st, so he's going to have a big time. And then there's something else. Come on, I want you to meet somebody. We're going to go out here on the porch and let you meet somebody. I'm real excited about it too. Hang on. Let's turn you around. Look, this is Harry. Yep. Isn't he cute? Yes, he's trying to get to my other hand. Oh goodness. Oh goodness, that's wet. You need to go back to your spot. Get up here. There you go. Yes. Oh, goodness gracious. I'm so cute. I'm just so cute. Snuggly. I've never owned a full breed anything. All my animals had come to me, with the exception of Smitty, who, you know, we just lost Smitty. I went to the shelter to get him. And a cat I had before I had Tucker, and his name was Doodle, and I went to get him. He was in a litter of kittens that had extra toes, and nobody wanted them, so that's where I got Doodly Doo. But other than that, all my cats just show up. And Tucker says, word is on the street, hey, if you need a home, go to that lady's house. I didn't go looking for a cat, and here comes this sweetest natured little kitty, and I just felt so sorry for him. He's pretty young, and as soon as we get through with the skittishness and all that kind of stuff, we'll take him to the vet. I'm trying to make him an Olander. And here is something else that I worked on this week and did complete. And this is my new summer robe. The first one I've had in ages. And this is from a New Look pattern 6378, which is actually just it's a kimono pattern with different sleeve lengths. The kimono itself is different lengths, but it didn't have a tie. So I had to make myself some little loops over here and a tie, which was simple enough. But I didn't know if I was going to be able to do this. I had to make my own bias binding, which was a new skill that I learned this time, and apply it all around. And I was just a little bit nervous about that. So I thought, well, let me make this with a scrapped fabric to begin with. This was a former tablecloth in a house years ago that we had back in the 90s. I don't know if you've ever noticed, but I have a blue and white china collection, and this went in a room with yellow walls, and it had the blue and white china in it and everything. And I loved this yarn. It was a Waverly yarn. Did I say that? I loved this fabric. It was a Waverly decorator fabric. But it turned out great. I really like it, and I have it right here because I'm going to do a separate video talking about this pattern and my experience or whatever. But that took up some of my time this week too. Yeah, I noticed I got some of my blue and white displayed up here, but now I have it kind of like all over the house. Now for today's treasure chest, I have a lipstick for you. You have got to go out and see if your Dollar Tree, yes, Dollar Tree, is carrying this. It's called Color Mates Lip Crayon, and I have it on right now in a nude color. It's something plum, soft plum, and it is fantastic. It feels so good, and it was only $1. I'd call that a treasure. Now I have more treasure stuff to talk about, but it is sprinkled within the next segment, so keep your eyes peeled there. We opened the door, and yet here I still am. Yes, we have some more people that came to visit, but I just wanted to reiterate what this was. If you're relatively new to my channel, you may not know that we have done something similar to this in the past, and this is in conjunction with this massive giveaway that I've got going on right now. Details for how to enter your video clip can be found in another video, and I'll put that link in the description box below. But just as a reminder, you're going to win a crochet crate from the KnitCrate company. I have these really neat crochet kits to give away that are from Old Shark Company, and I'll put a link in the description box below if you want to go ahead and buy this. It's got it says 90-piece crochet set. It's got scissors and stitch markers, a full set of crochet hooks that I think are fantastic. I've been using those, as a matter of fact. Extremely sturdy, very good. I have 3 of these kits to give away. And then from the Etsy shop, the Steady Hand, we have this precious small yarn bag here with a matching needle holder. Isn't this adorable? This is in the, well, they look like constellations, but they had the cutest, most clever little name. I can't remember. Oh, it was Star Trek related. I don't know. I can't remember. I'll put it down here. So let's see who came to visit.
Hi, my name is Caitlin. I'm from Toronto, Canada, and this is my vlog for the Sheepishly Sharing giveaway. I'm working on an alphabet crocheted blanket. It's a Tunisian crochet blanket with a pattern purchased from Two Little Craig's Crochet. It's a really cute pattern that's rainbow in color, so I'll show you the progress that I've made. Okay, so this pattern is a paid pattern, so I don't want to show you all of it, but it looks something like this. And all of the squares have a white border on it, and that's sort of the stage that I'm at right now. So these are what the squares look like after all the Tunisian crochet is finished, and then you go and put 2 rounds of a single crochet white border around it. This is the Tunisian crochet hook that I was using. It was my first time doing Tunisian crochet. I was watching a couple YouTube videos on it, and it was super easy, and this pattern was fantastic and very easy to follow. I was using the Denise interchangeable crochet hooks, which needed a fairly short end to fit the width of the square, so that was pretty easy. The pattern, you could get either a graph to follow, or you could get the number of stitches you need to do in each color in that order. So I used this pattern primarily just so I didn't have to count all the squares in the graph, but I went back to the graph to confirm that the pattern from here was correct. So you get all those letters in both types of patterns, so the pattern was really great. So I really recommend the Two Little Craig's Crochet. I bought it off of Etsy. So that's what I'm working on right now. So once I finish the white border around there, I will be putting them all together.
Hi, my name is Deborah, and I'm kind of shy, but I decided to give it a try. Thank you, Margaret. I was the one who asked do we have to show our face, but it's okay. I'm working on a project. I already showed you in pictures, but here it is. It was going to be a total dress, but the lady wanted a shirt instead. So that's the length I'm going to do, and I'm going to do some straps. And on the straps, I'm going to do some ruffles on it, on the sides like this. So I'm using Mexican yarns called Brisa. It's super thin, but it is tough, and it takes a long time obviously to finish a project with it, but the end result is really beautiful. And one thing about this yarn, it's light. It's not, if I would have used a 4-ply, it's still heavy, but this one you can use as any shawls, shirts, any other kind of clothing. So I'm almost done. I just need the straps, like I said. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Dina. My YouTube channel is called The Next Chapter. because I've entered a new chapter in my life. A few years ago, I started loom knitting hats for charities. I've made lots of hats and donated to lots of variety of charities. Here's one. These are just some examples of the hats I do. Aside from that, recently I started crocheting. So now I loom knit hats and I crochet goodies for charity. All my work is charity. Do not sell my work. So as you can imagine, I do not make money from it. Here's a shawl I finished yesterday. This will be going to live at an assisted living facility for Christmas, I hope. One of the residents there. Last year, for example, at that same assisted living facility, I gifted all the patients with hats and lap blankets. So that's my story. That's what I'm about right now. I'm about crocheting and loom knitting for charity. Glad to meet everybody. I hope you have a great day. Bye.
Hi there, my name's Karen. My friends call me Kazza. I'm a YouTuber as well, and my channel name is Kazalistic. I'm primarily a crocheter, having learnt in 2014. I had learnt as a child but then forgot everything, so I basically learnt from scratch. I have knitted since I was a child, but I've never really got past the basics, so I'm primarily my heart lies with crochet. So I basically do 98 to 99% of what I make is for charity. So this is the kind of thing I do. This will be going off to a child in Belarus who doesn't have anything for Christmas. So this is working ahead of time for Christmas. So I make toys. I do the occasional yarn haul as well. Most of the yarn that I use is donated from other crafters. I either use budget yarns or yarn is donated to me because I am a full-time carer to a friend, and basically I can't afford fancy yarn, so no yarn snobbery here. I do dabble with knitting occasionally. This is a garter stitch shawl that I made recently. This is using 100-gram ball that cost me £1. So there you go, that gives you an idea of my budgeting skills. This is a shawl that's crocheted. It's not a carrot cake, it's actually different yarns that I've put together. This was donated by another crafter and will be going off to a refugee, as will the other shawl I just showed you. I also make things like hats and scarves which go to refugees. I support a charity called Woolly Hugs, which is based in the UK. I do a lot for them, and this is using one of Margaret's patterns. And I also do twiddle muffs. That's me. Thanks guys. Bye.
Good evening, crocheters. Sheepishly sharing. Hi Margaret, thanks for adding me. I love watching your videos, and you kind of got me into that the toy knitting machine, but they're a little temperamental, and until I can buy me an Addi, I'll hold off on it because I had to take one back. So this here is some things that I'm working on. I normally do a fashion show that I started doing last year. I became a crocheter because I had gotten ill. I was diagnosed with lupus, and my lupus attacks my blood cells. So I was bedridden with some blood clots, and they wouldn't let me leave the bed. My family literally wouldn't let me leave the bed. So I remember this thing that I put underneath my bed, this plastic container with all my crochet stuff. So I asked them to get that for me, and I had some unfinished projects in there. So I finished the few blankets that were in there because that's the first thing that I learned to do. A girlfriend of mine taught it to me. And then I started watching YouTube videos. And I started watching this woman from Australia, and then there was another woman from Italy, and I didn't understand a word she said, but she's a great teacher. So I watched a couple of her videos. So after that, I just kept going through and going through and growing through, and I'm met a lot of great people. So I made a lot of great items, and it's just kind of my little hobby right now. So I'm kind of I could see it and do it, or if someone shows me how to do something one way, I could find a way to do it someplace else if I want to make it in a different medium or a different shape or whatever. So that's my little thing, and I just want to show you some of my items that I'm working on for my fashion show for this summer. These two items here are actually for a benefit fashion show this weekend. These I'm going to actually be donating to some of the participants of that particular fashion show. It's for a great cause, so I wanted to make something because they're going to showcase two of the women there, and I wanted to make something for them, and their purple is their theme, and that is the Red Heart Ombre. This here is a pineapple shawl that Joanne Martinez did, and I just went through the video and watched her do that, and then but I did it with the ombre because I don't really like the cakes. So I thought it came out beautiful, and I love this color, so I did this one here. This is a mandala poncho that I learned from Emmy Hexagona on YouTube. She's a very good teacher. She goes really fast, so if you're not, you know, aware, you have to try to keep up, but she's a very good teacher. This here is a swimsuit that I made. Anu is her name. She's also a YouTube lady, and this she made it with a full pineapple. I couldn't get the pineapple in there. I'm kind of obsessed with the pineapple sticks. Can you tell? But the model that I'm putting this on, her torso wasn't as long, so but I loved all this, so I just have diamonds in mine, and I just made like a triangle shawl just as a cover-up, and I love that red heart yarn, even though it's a bear, trying to get it out of the skein to use. This here is just like a little black dress kind of thing that I made. You know, sometimes, you know, we go away to the Caribbean or to the beach, and we want to keep our swimsuits on, but we want to kind of look, you know, a little dressed up to go, you know, into the thing. So this here, you can actually do that in, or if you're feeling, you know, risque, you could just, you know, go as is. They make those undergarments now. So this is something that, you know, I came up with after I saw a picture online, and I think I shared that with some of you guys, and that's like a jumpsuit. I've always wanted to make one. This here's a jumpsuit. I saw a woman in this pantsuit like this, and I came home and I just started crocheting, and this is what I came up with. It's shorts right now, but I kind of want to do something in here. I also made this cute little beach top, which I love because I like making the triangle boobies. I think they were kind of cool, and I like the two colors together after I made the dress, so I decided, you know, I like the way the V-stitch poofs out, so I made that, and I thought that would be, you know, pretty cool. I have some other things, and as you can tell, I like to crochet in my room. In my bed is most of my junk that I use. I'm working on something now. I've really never crocheted anything for myself. I normally wait till someone doesn't purchase something and then I keep it. And I'm using, this is Lion Brand ice cream, cookies and cream. And I just kind of like that color because, see, now I'm getting into the ombre. But those are just some of the things. And I'm Sharice Bennett from Chesapeake, Virginia. And that's my vlog. Happy crocheting.
Hi Margaret, I'm Wendy in Denver. I'm actually the one who had the traveling yarn box just before you did. This is my entry for your giveaway, and I want to show something a little bit different. About 5 years ago, I was at a thrift store, and I don't normally buy yarn at the thrift store, but I noticed a bunch of bags of yarn that was, I could tell, very expensive knit shop kind of yarn. I mostly use big box store yarn, but I knew enough to know that this stuff was more expensive. So there was about $60 worth of it. I called a friend. We split the cost, so we each paid about $30. When we added up our price tags, because it all had the price tags still on it, almost all of it had the price tags on it, we had $1,100 of yarn. So I thought I would share with you the part that I got. I had 3 skeins, about $10 a skein of an art yarn. This one was caked up. I had 2 skeins of this Eden silk, which is about $10 a skein. I had 2 skeins, I've used part of them, of one, of this Philly silk, which is about $32 a skein of alpaca. I had 13 skeins of this yarn called Lindsay, which is a cotton linen blend. 1 skein of Green Mountain Spinnery. There was a lot of this, but she took quite a bit of this. Then I had, I think, 11 skeins of this stuff called Woodlands, which is about $7 a skein, and it's Nettles yarn. There were some sock yarns that I've already used, and a couple of other random yarns that I've already used. But the biggest deal was this Buffalo Gold. I got 3 skeins of it, and it's $65 a skein. So this has to go down as one of the all-time best yarn or best thrift store shop scores of all time. All right, thanks, and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Hi Margaret, this is my entry for your giveaway. Excuse my nervousness because this is the first time that I've done a video, so bear with me. My name is Terry, and I live in Texas, and I've been crocheting for 35 years or more, I mean like forever, and I've been knitting for only the last 3 years. But anyway, I was wanting to show you what I like to do with, I'm like you, I like to do charity work, projects, and I like to use up scraps. I have this container that I'm always filling up with little tiny balls of yarn, all different colors as you can see. And what I like to do is, besides I do make hats and things like that, but I also like to use these little bits and bobs to make squares, like granny squares and things that I put together to make blankets to give to the Project Linus program. So let me show you. Here's one that I did, right there. Now I can't get everything in the screen, but it kind of gives you an idea of the things that I do to put together and use up all this yarn. Here's another one. This is just granny squares that I did, rectangles and different sizes of squares. And then once I stitch them together, I find a border that in a main color that I tie everything together with. A lot of books I get these from is different books, like this is a book on edging. Sorry, I know it's backwards. This one is a really good one to use to find edgings and things to tie these squares together. And of course I have books that I get the square pattern from. And I even like to use, sometimes I even like to use a color wheel right here to use to kind of help me to figure out what colors go with what. So that's my tip for the day. I hope everybody enjoys watching this video. I know I've been enjoying watching the videos that I've seen so far. Everybody have a good day. Bye.
Now I've entered our first 8 entries who were our eager, brave souls to enter the giveaway, and I'm going to draw right now with the random number generator for the Crochet Crate by KnitCrate. So we have a maximum of 8 people entered at this point, so let's generate our number. Number 4, so we pop back over here and we see that that is Dina. So Dina is going to win the Crochet Crate. Dina, send me your mailing information and I'll get that posted to you as soon as possible. And now, while we've got this up, I'm going to draw for the Steady Hands bag and needle holder that match. So we'll keep it like this. If we get 4 again, then we know we can't pick Dina, but let's go. Generate a new number. Number 2. Whoops, my battery's running low. So I'll pop over here to this and we see it's Caitlin. So Caitlin gets the bag and needle holder. So Caitlin, let me know your mailing address by private message and I'll get that in the mail to you. Now, here's how this is going to work. We're going to leave this open, and anybody else who wants to enter submits a video as outlined in the instructions that I'll leave in the description box below. I'll add you to this list, and I am going to continue to leave these people in for the drawing to see about those crochet kits that I have to give away, and there are 3 more of those. So let me see your stuff. So wasn't that fun seeing everybody? It was really special to me because I see your names come up and yet I don't really know who you are. And then to see you there in person talking, it's just really neat. And a special shout out to Terry, who was at the last, because Terry has been a subscriber to my channel forever. I mean, I don't know when I don't think I remember a time when I didn't see Terry's name pop up from time to time. So it was really neat, and to be quite frank, when I saw her in person, it was like seeing an old friend for the first time, and I got a little misty-eyed. But anyway, didn't they have some great things to show off? That was really fun. If you're a member of our Facebook group, then you probably already saw all those videos because every single one of them was posted there. And I loved reading the comments that people would put underneath each one. And under Terry's, people were very interested in where she got that color wheel. So I did a little research on that. I put a link in the description box below to some color wheels that are available on Amazon. There were several different types, but the Amazon choice was actually the cheapest one, and upon further investigation would have been the one I would want anyway. So if that floats your boat. I also happened to see them at Joann the other day, but they were like $9, $10. So this is your best bet, and I will put a link down below if you want to investigate those. But I'll also throw out something else to you if you're interested in color theory. I have the Craftsy class by Franklin Habit on color theory. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but if you search Franklin Habit in the Craftsy site, you'll see what he has to offer. And it was very interesting. I had only had basic art classes at school. It was never really my thing. So I only kind of sort of knew how colors worked and stuff. But he teaches you about color theory, the basics of color theory, and then shows you how to choose yarn based on your new knowledge of color theory. And I thought it was a really interesting class. I would definitely wait till the classes were 50% off before purchasing that, which they are often on sale, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I am also going to put in the description box below links to any of our visitors who have a YouTube channel so that you can, if you haven't already followed them, you can follow them now, because that's always fun. I just can't get enough yarn videos and I can't get enough sewing videos now, and I just welcome everybody. YouTube's a big place. There's something for everybody. So many of our flock are charity knitters and crocheters, and it's pretty neat to watch. You know, we would all probably love to use some really fancy yarn for every single project that we do, and we just can't, especially not if we are going to try to give tons of it away, right? So if you stop and think about it, what we're kind of doing is what I wrote to Karen on her Facebook post, and that is we're spinning straw into gold. we take acrylic and turning it into a useful object, which in turn can benefit somebody who needs the warmth. Now, I am a person of faith, and so I like to start my morning every day saying, Lord, help me be a blessing to someone today. And that's true. Even if it's in a very small, teeny way, I want to make my life worth something more than just pleasing myself, right? So I think it's important to also note that if you are able to watch YouTube, then you are probably in the top 1% of rich people in the world. Not America, not the UK, but in the world. The facts, the statistics are pretty astounding, actually, and I can put some links down below to some articles that will help paint that picture of the poverty that's in the world. Now, I know not everybody is a crazy researcher like I am, but I'm going to put a link to this little site down there too, so you can get an idea of where you stand in the global economy. First, you select your location, which essentially means put in your currency. And then you enter your annual net income. Of course, if you want to really do this right, you got to factor in all these things on the side, but I'm just going to enter in the American poverty line, which is $12,000. And let's see where that is in the world spectrum. The top 14.46% of richest people in the world. So an American at poverty line is actually in the top richest people in the world. Interesting. But you may not be able to ship these things, you know, to Indonesia or some of these places where people are just really suffering. But if you do help someone nearby, somebody in your own backyard. Dina, who you saw in the videos, had a video a while back where she talked about her experience that she took all her hats and put them out on this table, and she was actually there to see the recipients get her gifts. And that's kind of neat. I've never had the opportunity to actually see the recipient, you know, choose the hat and or scarf or whatever, but that's not why we do it anyway. We don't do it for the accolades, for heaven's sakes. We do it because we have so much more than other people, so we can share it. So anyhow, no, that's enough of that preaching. But my point is, isn't it fun to turn straw into gold? I'm over here at these books in Walmart, and do tell, what is loop crochet? I've never heard of this. It looks like a big, giant tapestry needle, but with no point. What is this? Now, you know I couldn't leave it at that. So here's how you thread it. Through the bottom, then through that hook, and then you do this kind of strange process that loops it through. I can see where it would work, but it also looks like it might be a little tricky to regulate your gauge. But if you find that you just don't like regular crochet and want to try the look, maybe this will work for you. Well, I've got to go eat some lunch. So thanks for joining me this week, and I'll see you next time. Talk soon. Bye.